am so pleased today to have Patrick Quirk, who is the CEO of Emptoris, with me today. I've known Patrick for a couple years now, and just not only a fabulous gentleman, but also a wonderful leader. So we're very pleased to have you with us. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you very much, Dawn.
So just tell our audience a little bit, what is Emptoris? What do you do? Let's just make sure we're all clear on that.
Sure. Emptoris is a software company, both SaaS and behind the firewall, that provides both strategic sourcing applications, contract management, service procurement, and recently added TEM, which is Telecom Expense Management. We acquired a company in December.
I didn't hear about that.
Yes, yeah. So we're close to 700 employees, almost over 100 million, and in 70 countries. So very exciting.
Wow, very exciting.
Yeah.
Wow, it's a lot of changes under your leadership.
Yes.
You've been with the company how long?
A year and a half, 6 quarters.
Is that it?
6
Oh,
board
we count by
meetings.
quarters.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Well, you've been doing an amazing job. Tell me, I'm just curious, how is Emptoris able to hold its own and keep growing and keep getting a bigger footprint? When you came in as one of the smaller guys, and all the other ones got eaten up, you haven't been.
Yes, and we will continue with acquisitions, so we'll be eating up some more folks also. But it's the two things. It's just a philosophical thing. Software companies are your people, and your assets go home every night. So we have just two real strong religious rules around the company. One, our customers are number one, and number two, our employees are number one. So if you take care of your customers and your employees, your shareholders are taken care of.
I like that. That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
So tell me, you talk to hundreds of CPOs, you're involved in hundreds of companies. What do you think that the platform should be, or is the best, or the top platform for CPOs these days? Is it sustainability, CSR? What are they focusing on?
Well, I have a pretty close connection with a number of the CPOs. We have about 340 customers, and of that, I have around 25, 30 of the top chief procurement officers that are on a board I do. It's called the CEO Visionary Board. And when you look at what their key issues that they're dealing with is two big areas right now. One is around risk mitigation, managing suppliers worldwide. Being a CPO, most companies have global sourcing challenges. And you have the challenges of the time zones, the language, and then the regulatory laws that each country has. So that risk mitigation is a real issue. And then the ones that really want to lead, innovation is key. And innovation means you have to really know your own business, like a business operations person. And then you have to really know your suppliers. And so taking advantage of suppliers' R&D, you can get a ton of leverage if you work real closely with your key suppliers.
Okay, but we've been outsourcing for 20 years, which is hard to believe. But people have been outsourcing for 20 years, but we didn't talk about risk until the recession. It wasn't a hot topic. You know, we talk about governance. Of course, we wanted to manage the contracts. We talk about, managing our supplier relationship. But risk is on everybody's tongue these days. So why is it just the recession, or is it just something we finally realized that these agreements need a lot more work and there's a lot more risk than we originally realized?
I think, well, two things have really occurred. The just-in-time, or let's just say the whole manufacturing supply chain in the manufacturing companies has really changed. So if you look at the disruptions that have happened in Japan, with just-in-time of everything, when a supply chain closes, real problems happen. So risk mitigation is just critical. Number two, there's certain industries like banking. Banking has so many regulatory rules around risk management and your supply base and your employees' security that it's become a major chore to stay within all the rules and regulations, which, by the way, change by country every year. So that's what I see. I think also the demand of the market picking up the way it has, and a number of suppliers who are critical that have gone out of business have caused major disruptions in companies' profits. So risk mitigation has become top of mind.
You think it's going to stay there for a while too?
I completely think it will stay there because more companies are even getting more global, which means more risk, and understanding what's happening in Brazil or what's happening in India, and the other things you need to be concerned about, both with human resources and corporate responsibility, along with making your business model happen.
That makes sense. So the cloud, everybody's talking about the cloud. Do you see that is really, is that a breakthrough innovation? Is that really just SaaS? Is it something that's really going to fundamentally change the way we do business?
Well, the cloud, it's I think some of it is marketing hype that the vendors all get charged on the next wave of innovation. But really, the internet has been around quite a while, funded by the government. In '93, I was at an internet startup company, and '93 the web was a new thing. We were building the first catalogs ever made and the first credit card processing and all that stuff. And so I think really we look at the cloud as we provide a private cloud. And what that is it helps, think of it as a supplier's Facebook, so that a supplier can have direct feeds from a Thomson Reuters, metadata links, so if a company's going bankrupt, like JAL, you might want to look at your spend that you're doing on JAL that day. And then we integrate that to Equifax and all the ERPs, the Oracles, the PeopleSofts, the SAPs. And we integrate the information with Dun & Bradstreet or other credit information. So all of that is right at the fingertips. And you can find out so much about your supply base, in these forums that the cloud has really become or the internet has really become an amazing tool. Now, with that comes contract information and other things that need security. So we have many customers who still take part of their applications and run them behind a firewall for the security purpose, and contracts is probably one of the highest ones.
Is that because we don't understand how to mitigate the risk, or we don't even understand where all the risk might exist today?
Well, so we manage some pretty big companies, and both in the insurance industry, with the Alliances and the Cignas of the world, and in the banking industry. We also run our products for companies who have a lot of IT strength, Accenture and IBM. So we host their sites for their procurement sourcing, and they do all kinds of tests, as you can imagine, to be certified by IBM or Accenture or an Allianz in Germany. It's major testing. You can get there, but I will say it takes a lot of years, a lot of work to get around all the security that's required. We also work with Department of Defense, UK government, James Bond, and so we really have to look at it tightly. But about 80% of our business is SaaS, so it's a strong business. But I will say countries like Germany and China are pretty strong about having it behind the firewall. The Chinese really don't like data coming over to the U.S. with the Patriot Act and all.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
So do you think what is the time horizon you see? Is it 5 years? Is it 10 years? Do you think we eventually will find a way to protect the information that's going through the clouds?
Yeah, and protection and security is a real issue, and where the firewalls are getting open nowadays is in mobility. So I think you'll see a lot more security wrapped around the the iPod, the iPad, the iPhone, the Android, the BlackBerry. Because these applications are now, such as we are too, are integrating decision making onto those mobile devices. So the security now is extremely important.
So, Emptoris, you've done a great job, and hopefully you're one of those CEOs that's going to stick around for a while. So, next 3 to 5 years, what are your hopes and dreams, and what are you driving the company to do?
Well, we'll continue our growth in the hopefully 25% range. We've continued to grow globally with opening up a year ago a WFI in China, last year an office in Sao Paulo to go after Brazil, and we'll continue that global expansion. We also have some other acquisitions we'll be doing that just help round out our product line. And we get a lot of the advice of what to acquire, by the way, from the CPO panel. It's extremely helpful. Areas they need to attack and technologies they would really like to have. So we do the make versus buy and time to market, and then make a decision from there.
That's exciting.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
So you've been at the summit for a couple days. How's your experience been so far?
It's been fantastic. We have a lot of customers here that I get a chance to finally hook up with in person, which is great. I think the think tanks, the roundtables have been phenomenal. Again, we are talking about what's affecting people this year, next year, and the year after. So that visionary discussion about what's really happening in the real world is what's amazing. And I really enjoy having the opportunity to have all of my customers learn from the best of the best. So it's an excellent forum.
So your session today, I had a chance to peek in. They said there's no room for me. And not only did you fill up every single seat that was there, and they brought an extra 20 chairs in. Yeah. Why do you think that was such an exciting session today? What was it? Is it the message that you had?
Well, we'd like to say we had a great message. I also think that one of the things in polling the room, over the last 5 years, over 80% of the room had been through a merger and acquisition. So when you have a company like Wells Fargo who's gone through that acquisition with Wachovia, it's big news, it's a lot of work, it's heavy lifting, and it's a lot of people work. Of course, we help provide the technology and the sophistication in the software applications, but it's the people work that is really tough to get everyone behind the CPO's initiative and follow it. So I think that's what people enjoy, and they like hearing, you know, how it really works in the real world. So.
Well, you've been a great friend to SIG. I want to thank you for that, and we want to remain a great friend of Emptoris's. But if you keep bringing us content like this, we're just going to have to get you larger rooms or just keep you in the general session. I'll tell you that. It's just been phenomenal.
Well, thank you very much.
So Patrick, we're out of time. I want to thank you for your time today. And hopefully we can invite you back to be on the interview series again soon. And folks, thank you for joining us today. I'm Tiura Evans, and I'll see you next time.